Yager. The lineup of games pits that kind of talent against one another, including Mario Lemieux and Eric Lindros. Tell you, Sunday nights in February, be with us, 8 o'clock. ESPN's National Hockey Night. Back into the middle, and this 4-on-4 is Leach. Left it Robitaille, back to Leach. Leach gets hauled down by Pronger, and a penalty coming up on Pronger. Delayed call. Robitaille over. Rangers get the extra skater, but it's touched up enough, and the Rangers will have a power play.
Well, this is what the New York Rangers have that very few teams in hockey have. It's a Brian Leach. Here is a 3-3 hockey game where Brian Leach has already gone over the 30-minute mark in ice time, and he has been up on the play in the third period. Once they tied it, he has been up on just about every play. Look at the length drive. I mean, he's still fresh. Chris Pronger took him down, fouled him with the elbow, and now the Rangers go on the power play. But that is the kind of season Brian Leach is having. Not only statistically, that's one thing, but that kind of play late in hockey games after 30 minutes of ice time, that's great.
So, a chance to keep that pace going of scoring power play goals. They haven't gotten one here tonight. It's a 3-3 game. 3 power play goals have been scored by the St. Louis Blues as they are 3 for 7. Power play unit will have Graves out there with Messier. Brett Hull will work on the penalty killing unit. Always dangerous short-handed. There's Al McGinnis also out there on the penalty killing unit for the Blues. Face off one again by Messier. Leach driver up top. Shot was blocked and sent the length of the ice. Healy back to get it. 6th power play of the game. Pronger the elbow at 14:30. Power play opportunity here for the New York Rangers, who have 3 even strength goals. And we're down by 2, have gotten back to tie it. Leach turning and driver's pass. Way down. Backing up, driver shot wide. St. Louis really caving back here in their penalty killing as Driver and Leach have moved way up. Shot wide by Leach, picked up by Messier. Here's Driver cutting in, couldn't get a handle on it. Goes to the corner, McGinnis over there on Graves. Messier covering at the point. Driver lets it go for Leach. Now the Blues come up and challenge the puck, and Hull knocks it away. Play by Driver reached in.
Gary, the word I keep hearing is wide. They're shooting wide. The Rangers have only managed 4 shots on goal in 5 power plays. They simply have not hit the net.
Vig's got 2 goals out there in the power play unit. You've seen the wide shots here on this power play. Back over to Messier. Drops it down low. Centered Graves shot. What a save, Fuhr! What a save by Grant Fuhr! Cleared out of the zone, McGinnis. St. Louis trying to get their penalty killers changed up here, and they will. The Rangers offside.
It is saves like this that Grant Fuhr has made just about this entire half the season. I mean, that is why Mike Keenan feels that he was snubbed when he was left out of the All-Star game as a Western Conference representative. Pat Verbeek down low, right out in the slot. 1 chance, then a second one by Grant Fuhr. I mean, the man that makes the decisions is the director of the hockey operations department of the NHL, Brian Burke, and he consults with general managers. Eddie Belfour is a starter because he was voted by the fans. Chris Osgood of the Red Wings, Felix Potvin of the Toronto Maple Leafs have been added. And when you look at the kind of season that Grant Fuhr has had, I mean, he deserves to be in the All-Star game, Gary, flat out.
Yep. Mike Keenan said that. Keenan said he was never consulted, and he said to us today, he said, well, it's the same thing they did with the obstruction rules. They didn't consult me about that either.
Well, they consulted him, and he voted against him. And it's one of two guys that voted against.
There's Mike Keenan on his team. Has had a 2-goal lead disappear here, 3-3. Shots. Rangers have picked that pace up now. Have been even for most of this period. Just a little over 4 minutes left to go in regulation. Kovalev moving it up. Power play for the Rangers. 31 seconds left on it. Pronger's in the box for the Blues. Kravchuk's in the corner. Kovalev was over there with him. Blues need another clear here. Robitaille was able to hold that in along the boards. Kravchuk stepped up. Robitaille. Blues will let the Rangers play around with it over there. Kovalev dumps it off on the wide side. Not getting any chances on this. Robitaille set up in front. Time running on the power play, though. There's Leach. Looking into the middle for Robitaille. Bounced and sent out of the zone. And that'll do it. Rangers do not convert. It remains a 3-3 game. Penalty is over. Both teams will change up here, getting units out at full strength. St. Louis rushing it through the middle. Kravchuk. Kravchuk, little hook from behind, dropped it off. Hawerchuk in the corner with Lowe. They do battle over there as Lowe just kicked it away to Driver, who got it up to Robitaille. Spun back at the blue line. Robitaille over to Driver. Rangers trying to break. They're looking back into the middle, but Pronger was there. Pronger, good coverage that time, and Ian LePerrier was cutting in. Batted with a high stick of Hawerchuk, and that will draw the whistle. 3 minutes left. Game tied, 3-3.
So now Mario Lemieux is out to make a little bit of history. We may be in for some of it tonight. His next goal will be his 500th. Al Lemieux, and there's number 500. Mario Lemieux.
Now every time Mark Messier steps out on the ice could be an historic moment. He shoots. He scores! Mark Messier, number 500. What a night for Mark Messier.
There's a look at Mark Messier, who's had a tremendous first half. And the interesting thing about Messier, that once the second half rolls around after the All-Star game, the subject of hit ice time is going to become very apparent. The good news for the Rangers is that the worst of their schedule is over. 17 games in December, most ever by a Ranger team, only 11 in January. And after they have a road trip to Colorado on February the 3rd, they never leave the Eastern time zone again. That's good news for Mark Messier, guys.
Mark Messier telling us before the game, he says, I'm entering territory that's unknown to me as far as playing this much at this age. So the coaches are great to me, though, and they let me take practices off, which he's never done in his career. But he's still going out to most practices and playing the back-to-back games. Nemchinov backhand shot, save made again by Fuhr, kicked away. Full strength here for these teams with 2:23 left to go in regulation. Game tied at 3-3, no scoring here in this third period. Backed in behind the net, or rather the Rangers getting it tied up as they entered this period down a goal. They had been down as many as 2. Cleared back up for Hull. Hull trying to break. Couldn't pull that back. Messier was there with him. Verbeek over to Messier. Messier winds up. You're the save. Cleared back to the far side by Courtnall. Courtnall goes by Hull, who is headed to the bench. Courtnall moving it in. Got pinned up, drops it off Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk spins back around, turns, takes the shot. Healy the save. Rebound loose, top of the crease, comes to Pronger. Pronger's shot. That bounces off bodies and out of the zone. Back the other way, Messier. Verbeek on the far side. Messier, Verbeek, crisscross. And a whistle offside, and Verbeek takes a shot from Courtnall, then goes after Kravchuk.
That's who his real battle's been with, Igor Kravchuk. This entire shift up and down the ice, they've been kind of velcroed together. Courtnall, I think, just came in to help Igor out.
Our head and shoulders storyline in a heck of a game here on National Hockey Night from New York. Looks like this. Pat Verbeek looking for the hat trick. He's had a couple this year. 32 goals, 2 in this one. 4th in the league in that department. Bateau, the former Ranger, big night. He's had a couple of assists and a goal in the power plays. St. Louis, 3 of them, while the Rangers have gone 0 for 6.
How about a head and shoulders replay? The goal that made this a 3-3 hockey game. Ray Ferraro with his head up all the way, looking for somebody, found the right guy. Igor Kravchuk let Pat Verbeek get open long enough to get a surprise shot away, and Kravchuk was behind. He was kind of swearing at himself at that point because that was a 2-on-3 that Pat Verbeek capitalized on to tie it.
Ray Ferraro stands ready to take the draw at center and wins it. Karpovtsev shot, save made by Grant Fuhr to the corner. Minute 30 left to go here in regulation. Rangers trying to hold it in. Ferraro jamming up along the near side boards long enough to get the whistle. New York Rangers average 33 shots a game. They have put up 38 already in this one on Fuhr. Brett Hull, he'll get another shift before the end of regulation. Want to remind you, coming up, Fire on Ice on the Deuce, the Colorado Avalanche taking on the Detroit Red Wings. Steve Yzerman still gunning for that 500th. 1 shot, and that is the next Detroit game, Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern. You may have a chance to see another player into that magic land of 500 goals. Mark Messier won, who joined it this year. Centering pass, Kovalev tipped it. Not on net, but Fuhr coming out the cover. Got run over in doing so. Minute 10 left to go. Third period. 43 games, 43 starts. 7 times pulled this season. Among the active goaltenders, only Andy Moog is ahead of him. And all time, he is 9th. Second active, 9th all time in wins.
What a story it would be if he were to start all 82 St. Louis Blues hockey games. Can't imagine what that would be like. I don't think anybody can really appreciate what kind of physical feat that would be, but Bob Kersey, the man who was training him, was about to leave him for the Olympic program, has really whipped a guy that was kind of a flabby goalie into a tremendous athlete.
This is the 6th time this year, Bill, that he's played in the back-to-back games, and I think Mike Keenan said today there are only 4 left. Centering pass, 1 minute left to go. Knocked away as Messier tried to put it in front. Comes back to center. Stephane Matteau shot it wide off the back of the net. Healy lets it go, and Messier moving up. We're in the final minute of regulations. A 3-3 game. Rangers unbeaten in 19 at home. Moving it in, Leach. Tried to drop it. Pronger blocked it right back to him, though. Centering pass for Beek. Cutting down below the D. They couldn't get the pass through. Back they come the other way. Hull cutting to the net. Save made by Healy. Pronger again up there. Pronger banged up on the boards on the far side. Verbeek dug it out. Messier. The red, the blue, and in. Messier waiting. Messier, Leach, save Grandfuhr! Point blank setup by Messier to Leach. He did it again. Back the other way. Kravchuk in the middle. Kravchuk drops it off. St. Louis. Powerchuk shot wide. Driver was tying it up in front. Blues changing. Messier still up. 4 to go in the period. One more chance. Fuhr makes the save. Sundstrom the shot. OT.
Well, Brian Leach can't believe it, but Mark Messier has seen it before. He played so many years with Grandfuhr, it is no surprise to him that we are going to overtime.
Great to have you with us, everybody, and a really spectacular performance by these two teams tonight. They tied 1-1 in St. Louis back on November 14th. They're tied 3-3 here. Overtime coming.
It was close to ending. Brian Leach had the game on his stick. Brian Leach has had 4 shots on goal and has had countless other shots that have just missed wide. Great pass from Mark Messier. Looked like he might have been going 5-hole between Grandfuhr's pads. Grandfuhr flinched. Brian Leach hit him in the pad. And Leach sat on the bench for the entire time that we were away at commercial with his head down, focusing, getting ready. Look at it, 34 minutes out of 60 is what Brian Leach has played. 26 shifts. Here we go.
Rangers outshot St. Louis 20-10 in that third period, and they were real good chances. On the game, 40-32. Rangers out shooting St. Louis. We go to overtime. Banged off the glass. Each team playing in their 9th overtime game, as you saw this season. Winning goal for the Rangers in their 1 win was Pat Verbeek against Detroit on December 8th. Ray Ferraro will be out there during this OT. The veterans that you see out there, they've been there before, like Brett Hull. Glenn Healy in net tonight, making 29 saves so far.
The guy that I'm not sure will be out there, Gary, is Ulf Samuelsson, has been matched against Brett Hull in this game. He's on the bench.
Verbeek shot, save made by Grandfuhr. Verbeek with 2 goals in this game. Messier waiting behind the net, tried to block that pass to Hull. Leach steps up, able to hold it in. Far side, Bukaboom. Bukaboom the move, sends it back behind the net. Matteau, Graves, they collide. Kravchuk moved in to help out. St. Louis, Igor Kravchuk clearing it up and out into the middle. Pronger was reaching. Messier beating to it. Back come the Rangers. Both teams getting some changes. Leach is down low, but they couldn't control the puck in time. Rangers got to clear the zone. Leach the 9-iron shot and missed it. Here comes Hull. Hull, Pronger in front of him. Poke checked away from him, and Verbeek clears it out. It was Driver who put the poke check on Hull. Al McGinnis with a cannon shot. Healy makes the save. Rebound clipped wide by Hudson. Flipped into the corner by Lowe. Driver over to help. Driver getting it up to the point, not out. Driver will try it again. Jams it up the far side. Still can't get it by over there. Good play to hold it in. St. Louis up. Fanning on the shot. Cardiff had the opportunity. Healy looking. Centering pass for Pronger. Deflected up in the air to Kovalev. Kovalev coming as the Rangers got a change. Messier back to him. Messier the trailer. Back in behind the net. Robitaille in front. Wraparound shot. Save made again by Fuhr on Kovalev. Wow. Kovalev. McGinnis on him. Leach is alone in front of the net, but Kovalev got tied up by McGinnis. Robitaille the bang over there. Hudson clears it out. That will be whistled as it touched somebody on the St. Louis bench.
big game players. The Rangers have a bunch of them. Luc Robitaille, one of them. Mark Messier, huge, and Alexei Kovalev, who Colin Campbell puts out here in overtime. It's not unusual for him to unite Messier and Kovalev in overtime situations. Here they come. It was Messier to Kovalev. Watch this, how aggressive. I mean, you got to love this selection. He said, I'm going for it myself. Cut right around in front, and nobody headed him off at the pass. He just missed the net.
There is Alexei Kovalev. Only 5 goals in his last 30 games. Mark Messier stayed out there for a shift and a half. 3:19 left in the OT Friday night in Boston. We'll be at the new Fleet Center All-Star Friday. We'll have the Heroes game for you as well as the skills competition. Hope you'll join us 7:30 Eastern Friday night from Boston. Grant Fuhr gloves that one on the blue line, flipped by Ray Ferraro. Rangers during this 19-game unbeaten streak here have had the 3 ties here at home where they've outscored the opposition 102-66. Including the goals here tonight. Colin Campbell's Rangers just 2 behind Detroit for the #1 mark in the National Hockey League. Off the face-off, 1 back. Leach trying to hit Ray Ferraro, could not. And it'll be sent in. Jay Wells dumped it around the far side. Can he get up? Good move made. Broughton in behind the net. Broughton got tied up and lost it there. Kovalev has got it. Kovalev starts it out. Robitaille's in the middle with him. Flips it into the corner. Ray Ferraro was giving chase. That one's going to be whistled.
By the way, the Rangers charge on the forecheck. Grant Fuhr is making the right decision. The only problem for Grant Fuhr is that face-off total that we just saw. 52 wins for the Rangers and only 17 for his St. Louis Blues. Sooner or later, I mean, the Rangers will say, look, we just ran out of time if this game ends up tied. 52-18 now, all right? The Blues won one with 2:51 to go. Every face-off that Grant Fuhr has to really contend with in his own zone could be an adventure and should be based on those numbers, but he still has to really hold the puck and freeze it.
Assume a shot. On this one, though, it's St. Louis coming away with a win on the draw. Comes back to center. Johnson won that face-off to the right of Fuhr. Leach moved up. Nemchinov was there as well. Comes back out to center. Chased down by Lowe. Lowe feathers that one off the boards. Comes right back out into the middle, Lowe. Rangers trying to get a line change here. And it's just dumped into the corner by LaPerriere. We're down to 2:24 to go in this overtime of a 3-3 game. High pass in the middle, picked up by Nemchinov. Nemchinov moving it in, takes the shot wide on Grant Fuhr. Comes up on the near side wall. Nemchinov chases down himself over there. Back in behind the net. Kravchuk clearing it out. Could not hit Hull. He was up along the blue line. Both teams change it up here. Sundstrom the intended. This is going to be an icing call. Break for St. Louis. It'll bring the face-off the other way. Minute 57 to go in this OT. Coming up after our game tonight here at National Hockey Night Sports Center. Big day, of course, with all the football going on, the playoffs, highlights coming. Sunday night conversation with Wayne Gretzky. Elmore Gandy had the conversation with him. Where is Wayne going to go? What's he thinking? And Marcus Camby. Boy, a scary situation, a collapse by that great basketball star at Mass. Bring you up to date on it. Keith Olbermann standing by along with Larry Beal, Sports Center, right after National Hockey.
Yes, a tie would be better than a loss for Mike Keenan. But his team was up 3-1 in this hockey game. A couple seconds ago, yeah, not swatting flies. He's trying to swat pucks. There were a couple that looked like they were coming his way.
Not at that level. They all look like they're coming your way.
Nor is he swatting the guys on the bench.
No. Here's Messier and Hudson on the draw. Messier wanted to Bukaboom in his own zone. Back for Leach behind the net. Leach cleared it around far side for Verbeek. Messier and Graves up front on this line. Messier really tired, and understandably so, having played yesterday and a lot here again. Big shot put on the corner by Verbeek, who ran over, gets back up, couldn't control the puck. Graves was helping. Hudson can't get it by Leach. Back into the middle. Messier wound up, rolls into the circle. But he could not get a shot out of that. St. Louis back the other way. Cardiff moved it in, drops it off. Shot, Courtnall, save Healy, Courtnall! Shot deflected back in behind the net.
What a great rush by Patrice Tardif, and then a crossing pad, and the Rangers defense really backed in because Tardif came with speed. Jeff Courtnall was the guy that crossed behind him. And Glenn Healy had to be tough on him because Courtnall wouldn't give up on it. Here comes Tardif. See how they backed him, and Brian Leetch back way across the blue line. He crossed, took his man. Jeff Beukeboom came across for the coverage. Here comes Beukeboom into the picture. Right there, taking Jeff Courtnall down and then just ramming his head into the ice. Give Courtnall some credit. He didn't give up on little Courtnall. He can see it now. Boy, I'm going to get it. Got it from Jeff Beukeboom. Beukeboom finished him off, took him right into the boards. He was angry that he didn't score and also angry that there wasn't a penalty called.
Jeff Courtnall, 299 goals. Almost had 300 in a game winner. Messier out at center. Minute 14 left in the OT. Graves in. Graves trying to send it around the net. Verbeek moved in on Kravchuk, who pinned him up. Hull's back there as well. So was Messier. Messier the loose puck. Messier the shot. Grant again. Got the end of the paddle on that one and knocked it away. 1 minute left to go in overtime. St. Louis back 2-on-2. Kravchuk moving it in. Kravchuk sends it. Healy knocks it away. Came out to play it. Trying to poke it away from Brian Noonan, who got there ahead of him. Noonan knocked down a whistle and a penalty coming on the Rangers. With 44.8 seconds to go in overtime, the Rangers will be shorthanded with Beukeboom heading to the sin bin.
Well, I wonder if Kerry Fraser didn't have a little thought flash that said, you know what, I let him slide on the Courtnall thing. I can't do it 2 times in a row and sleep tonight. So Jeff Beukeboom, who was just thrashing bodies all over the place, is not going to escape this one. 44.8 seconds to go. Colin Campbell, he is. Looks like he is steaming. We'll take a look at it. Brian Noonan reversed the puck into the corner there, and it was a real good play on his part. Jeff Beukeboom took him with the stick high. Almost looked at the end of that like Beukeboom tried to avoid him with the stick, even though his stick was up. Looked like he was saying to himself, I do not want to take a penalty right here.
Boy, that is a tough call.
Yes, it is a very tough call, but I still think it had something to do with the non-call when he hit Courtnall.
Yep. We talked about Wayne Gretzky all night and the possibility Gretzky will be traded, going to a winner maybe like the New York Rangers. Mark Messier.
I think it's important for the league to have Wayne in the playoffs also, you know what I mean? And I think that if LA can't make that kind of commitment and their ownership can't make that kind of commitment, I think it is important that perhaps he does move on and give him a chance not only to try to win another Stanley Cup, but also it gives him a chance, or the league a chance, to give something back to him, which he's all given so much to the league.
Well, so has he. Mark Messier and everybody wondering about what Wayne's moves will be and whether there'll be any at all. We've got 44.8 left. St. Louis already 3 for 7 on the power play tonight. Gets a power play chance.
These numbers should be backwards, but that's why this is sport.
Just when you thought you had it. Rangers shorthanded. Pronger working the near side point. Power play St. Louis. We're in overtime. 3-3. Healy the save. Rebound shot. Flipped wide of the net. Great chances. Shot wide again. Stefan Matteau looking for his second goal of the night. Just missed it.
Wide open.
Did not get it on net. Was not touched in the shot. Cleared out of the zone by Leetch. Still time for the Blues. Kravchuk sends it in. You know Matteau's going to think about that one. How gets it back down to him? Matteau, far side Kravchuk looking. Centering pass, Healy. A deflection. May have gotten a piece of that off Johnson, who was standing out in front. Johnson can't get that. Messier over, and the Rangers still haven't lost a game at home in the last 20. The St. Louis Blues and the Rangers, who've met twice, have tied twice. Mike Keenan's return to New York ends in a 3-3 affair.
It's only fitting that nothing end up being settled here.
Glenn Healy gets the tie for the Rangers. Grant Fuhr outstanding in net at the other end for the St. Louis Blues. He came away with 41 saves in this game. We'll be back to the Garden. 3-3 the final. The one that tied it, and that's how it ended. 3-3 our final score at Madison Square Garden. National Hockey Night returns on Friday evening from Boston. We will bring you exclusive coverage of All-Star Friday, the Legends of Hockey, the skills competition. Great fun, 7:30. Hope you'll join us from Boston. Coming up next, Keith Olbermann, Larry Beal standing by. Who's going to go to the Super Bowl? What happened in the other NHL games? And listen to Wayne Gretzky. All coming up next. Bill Clement, Brian Ingram, Gary Thorne. Thanks for joining us.